From confusion to conversion. Hello, everyone. My name is Tessa. I'm a marketing strategist, and I have Miss Kai all day, who is a business coach. And today we are talking about it's about your funnel. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, my funnel. I mean, my funnel doesn't even work. That's what we're talking about today.
Or what's a funnel? What are you talking
What's a funnel?
about?
Yeah, let's go back to that. Let's talk about what a funnel is, because I know, if this is a new term to you, we're just going to give you a quick breakdown. So Kai, do you want to explain what a funnel is?
Yeah, so sure. So I like to think of a funnel as a path. That's really what it is. So what was it? Was it Hansel and Gretel when they're like their breadcrumbs?
Oh yeah, breadcrumbs.
Yeah. So they were trying to remember their path from their house to wherever they were going to get back, right? And so that is the path that you're creating for your customers. That's what a funnel is. Now, often when we talk about funnels, we are talking about the automated, the tech version of that, but there is always the low tech version, which is the manual piece. So please don't feel like I don't have anything. I'm just working in the DMs and I'm manually doing everything. You still need a funnel. It is a path. That is essentially what it is. And so we're going to get into that today. Tessa always keeps me on track, so I'm going to shoot it back over to her so she can remind me what we're
doing. Right. Well, obviously there's a big chance that your funnel doesn't work. And what's scary is a lot of people they just put something in place and they don't know if it's working or not. So that's scary. Let's just say that if you're not getting leads in and you have a system, it's not generating leads, that means it's probably not working at optimal strength. But you have a story where somebody is actually going through that same thing in their business.
Yeah. So I was going to share two stories. One is myself, because I can be a little bit more blatant about it. And then we'll go into our client and her story. But, my story is when I first started, I was like, okay, I know I need an offer. Here's what I want to sell. Here's how much it's going to cost. Like I figured that out like that. Right. And I still wasn't clear on the offer, but I knew that I wanted to do coaching. So that was my offer. And then I was like, okay, well, now I need an audience. What we're going to say?
Oh, no, I was just going to say her offer being her end money maker, right? Yeah. So the end destination, wherever you're going to make your money and you want to drive people to.
Yeah. And so I had that. And then I was like, okay, well, everyone's saying I got to do a freebie. Okay. So I created a freebie. And then I was like, well, I need people to come to the freebie. So then I started speaking, getting into summits and all those things. And that's how I would get people. And so what happened was I would, rock a summit or something like that. And, oddly enough, I rocked it. I don't know how I did it, to be honest with you.
Very good. She's a very good speaker.
People would sign up for the freebie. And then my thought was like, okay, well, they got the freebie. They love me. They're going to buy my stuff. And I was missing the whole point of the funnel, like a whole section of it that matters to your customer journey. And so that's what we're going to be diving into today, is what does that really look like? But I think a lot of us are on that same boat. Is we're told like we have to show up on social media or whatever that platform is, go to those networking groups, all these things. And then we're told you need to have an offer. And then we're told you need to have a lead magnet that brings value so that you can get emails. But we're missing so much. Like it's crazy, right? And so we're going to share that with you guys. We can't get through everything today, but we do have a free event coming where we can help you build it out. No sales at all. So I will get to that, but I just want you to know that I don't want you to feel confused or like
we're being hard on you. We want to help you. So we have the solution. So just hang in there with us. We're going to do
the thing. Everybody goes through the same thing. Like there is nobody that I know that is exempt, unless you are one of those people who from the very start hired somebody to coach you through it, which most of us have not done that. Then most of us are experiencing and have gone through the same problem. So this is not a you problem. This is like everybody that comes into entrepreneurship experiences this. And let me just tell you, we have
multiple times. Like, not, you might create something and then that didn't work and you try something else. So
because you still didn't realize that there was a funnel problem. You just thought it was the offer, or you thought it was the lead magnet wasn't good enough, or maybe people don't like your content on social media. And that's why. And oftentimes it's because we have no idea what we're measuring, but that's a whole nother story. So I will tell you about our client. She's amazing. And in her first year, she made 250K out the gate. And she was like, she came to us and she's like, well, I really need to figure this out. And essentially what happened as we were talking, what we came to realize is that she had no pathway. So there are a lot of people that we know actually who are making 250K, $500,000, $1 million, and it is work. Why is it work? It's because you don't have a funnel in place. You don't have a funnel that makes sense, right? You have all of these little pieces, and that's the same thing for her. Is every time she makes a sale, she makes the sale, but she has got to start from scratch every single time. And the funnel, what a funnel does is it makes sure that you have a lead, you have a faucet of people who want to buy and are happy to pay you. That is what a funnel is.
Right. And that's the important part, because it's getting them to that point where they fall in love with you, the know, love, and trust piece of this process, that they want to work with you so bad. You also, I think this is what she's doing every time. If you were to visualize it this way, she's building a robot from scratch every time she needs to make a sale, as opposed to having an assembly line and building a robot like piece by piece, knowing your process and this is how it has to go.
And by hand, right?
By hand. And then, your automation has these robots that are doing it for you. So you can produce a lot more leads. You can produce a lot more sales. And that's really where she's at. She really wants to scale. She's like, I can't do this. I can't scale if I keep doing it myself. So let's just take that 30,000 foot view. What really goes wrong in most funnels. I know we have
trying to laugh, but it's like everything goes wrong in a funnel, doesn't it?
It can. It's like we have so many moving parts, right? And so there were 3 that we're going to give you guys today, just because we want you to walk away with this saying, yes, I know that if I can nail these 3, it doesn't matter if I'm doing the high tech version or the low tech version, I can get people in more efficiently.
Yes.
So number 1, your offer has to be crystal clear. Your offer, the end goal that you're sending people to, and you have to understand exactly what is going to get them to say yes.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, see, she's saying yes. She understands. No.
I mean, we understand this so well. Like, you don't even understand how much this resonates with us. Is the clearer we got on our offer, the easier it was to sell. Number 1, because then we could tell you exactly what the benefits were that mattered to you, but also and why do we start at the offer? A lot of people are like, well, I don't, my offer is I'm going to be a coach. Awesome. Great. Or I want to be a speaker and I want to train people, right? I'm a teacher and an expert in my industry.
Awesome. You might have these packages. Like I have the package. That's my offer. I understand it. Not quite.
No.
You have to understand what the benefits
to know your offer. Like you have to be so clear. And there's a lot of things that go into that, which we'll get into at the free event. But when you do your offer, you have to be so crystal clear, because what happens with that offer is that offer decides your everything that happens.
Yeah, it's a reverse. Exactly. Yeah. It's a reverse model. You start at the end and figure out what people love about your program. And then you're able to pull all the other steps out of it. So I guess if I were to give you a task right now, it'd be go think about your offer and write down the 3 things that people love about working with you and that offer in particular. And that's
what is the benefit? What is it helping them with? What are they getting from that offer itself, and
the tangible results that they're getting?
Yeah. And also think about it this way too, right? It's the results, but it's also like, who does that offer benefit? Like you could have an offer and, so I went to this training and the lady, she does $1 million packages. So she goes in with these corporations and she helps them create a $1 million package that they then sell. Now, that offer is for somebody who can afford her pricing, number 1, but also has the type of product that would require a $1 million,
right. They're in the billions of what they do. And so they need this type of marketing or this type of coaching.
Right. But then that speaks to exactly who she should be speaking to, which brings us to number 2, which is at your entry point, right? Where people find you, whether it's social media, LinkedIn, ads, whatever that looks like. It needs to be exactly aligned to the offer, which is why the offer is so important. Because this really helps you to position your message. Your brand needs to be on, in line with that. Like if I am this lady doing this $1 million package for corporations, like I know that that's who I serve. And then on this end, I'm showing up in my PJs and I'm like, live your best life. And, I'm going to help you make $1 million. But my target market is this person who is a, $1 billion corporation, whatever that looks like.
Big gap.
You can see where it got really confusing, right? We're bringing in all these people because they want that $1 million offer, but like these are not the people who can either afford it, who it makes sense in their business, who are really needing what she is giving. And then you're like, oh, I have all these people, but nobody's buying. Well, it's because you have all the wrong people, because you didn't get really clear on your offer. And so your entry point did not make sense to that offer.
Your entry point isn't speaking to the right people. So, and I think in our next show, we are going to talk about the customer journey and how to look at this as well. So we'll give you more detail because we're skimming the surface. We only have 30 minutes. And honestly, we want to leave some time for questions and to be able to connect with you all because we are live with you. But the number 3, so our entry, we have our offers crystal clear. Number 2, our entry point needs to be so aligned to the offer that your branding, positioning, CTAs are all leading them logically to the end result, right? And then number 3, be intentional about the customer journey. Again, what we're going to talk about, but it addresses gaps. And can you tell us a little bit about those gaps?
Yeah. So like I said, when I was doing my funnel, right? My funnel, I didn't even know what I was making really, let's be real. But when I had the offer that I wanted to offer. I figured out a lead magnet, and then I went and found people that fit into this, that it didn't even make sense. Let's be really honest about that. And then people would sign up, but then that's it. I got an email. Yeah, I'm so excited. I got an email. But then I'd have to start at the beginning because then they forgot who I was. I did not have an intentional journey. There was nothing happening in the inbox. Number 1, sometimes you create the nurture email and it just doesn't, it's not exciting. Like, let's be very honest about that. It has to like really deliver value, or it has to be funny or something in order for somebody to come back to that email over and over again.
The first one. The first 5 minutes you have anyone, the thank you page, the text that you send, the first email that they get, if there is a lead magnet, Kai hates freebie. So lead magnet has to be so fast. You have 5 minutes to get this person's attention because people have no attention span, squirrel syndrome everywhere, shiny objects. So if that little minute doesn't work and you don't connect with them and instantly bond, and I mean bond as a person, not just, hey, I'm sending, this is so good what Kai talks about on this. So I have to say before we go, that if you're a coach, right, Kai, tell us about the PDF versus what coaches typically do and the difference. This is a connection difference. You guys have to listen.
So we will dive into the customer journey. So just understand that it has to be intentional. And here's one of the things, right, is so you have this package, your offer, and we'll take me as an example because I'm more than happy to throw myself under the bus. So I had this coaching offer, right? I was going to business coach. And actually in the beginning, it was leadership coaching because that's where I started. So it was leadership coaching. I went to a summit and then I had this freebie that you could get from my summit. And here's the thing is, here's what I want people to come and buy is this coaching experience, which means that they have to know what I'm like as a coach, right? But my freebie, I know you guys love that word, drives me crazy, but my lead magnet was a PDF great PDF. I mean, like, I love my PDFs, don't get me wrong.
Jeez, they're really good. They are.
But that had nothing, like, it didn't give anyone any insight into what coaching would be like with me. It didn't show them my genius. Like, maybe if I were doing graphic design and creating PDFs, and then you got this PDF and you're like, oh wow, it's so beautiful and da 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 da, I would love for her to make this for me. That makes sense. But in my world and what I was offering, I was not showing my genius at all. Remember, they came to me also from a summit. So I was
A live
speaking
person.
in this summit. They liked me. They wanted this freebie. Now you got me saying it. They wanted this lead magnet, right? So they come into the lead magnet where I'm no longer speaking. I'm no longer coaching. I'm no longer showing off any of my genius. I've just become another tool. In like a box of like a billion tools.
Right. So you could have a webinar, or like us, we have a workshop. Like, it would make sense for Kai to invite people to a workshop where they're going to figure out something that they realized was wrong in the summit, or it's a recorded course. But your body, your physical being, if you're in the coaching world, needs to be in the offer, in the lead magnet that you're giving, so that you're continuing that connection. If you're, like you said, if you're a graphic designer, that might be fine. But you could have that PDF, like I could give that as a resource with a training video. And now we've accomplished that connection. Yeah. So it's very common, but that's a gap where we lose people, is like they fall through the cracks. It's the leaky bucket, right? There's just this hole. I also love to think of it, we've talked about this before, as dominoes. And, a domino, if you line them all up, and you're trying to get to the end result, like if they're not close enough, you're going to not hit the end. So whatever you're doing has to be close enough for the next action to happen. If like you have a 4-inch piece here, it's just going to fall. And then you don't know why, hey, no one made it to the end. That's most likely the gap that you need to fill up. And beautiful.
And I just want to share one quick story, because we do have time. So
yes, we do have time.
I got this lead magnet from, actually it wasn't a lead magnet. I bought something off of an ad. So, right, all of your customers take different journeys, but I found this person through an ad. It spoke directly. Their messaging was on point, and it spoke directly to me, who was obviously their muse. And so I was like, okay, I need this. I paid for it. I think it was $77 bucks, something like that. And it delivered. Okay, so that's the first part, is it delivered. But second part was that it didn't just deliver the solution. I could see in this video, because she would do the training videos, and then she would be training you through how to use it, right? In the video, she was coaching, right? So she was showing you how to use it, and then
more value.
Yeah, and she was also like, you need to think of it from this. So she was giving you like these mindset shifts of how to look at this, how to really talk about your messaging, how to position yourself. And it was all coaching. And it sucked me into her world, because I was like, I need more of this person. Like, and that was the first time I met this person, was through an ad, buying a tool that I was like, this is what I need, because the messaging was so on point. And it showcased her genius. So then I followed her. Like Tessa knows, I went to all of her stuff, and she's awesome. She, like, especially when it comes to money beliefs and how to price and all those things, and how to sell without selling. She's amazing. But I followed her through that journey, and went to all these master classes of hers, which I paid for. These were not free master classes. I paid for all of them, because that first lead magnet, she was so intentional about how she was going to showcase her genius, and it aligned to what she was then selling, that for me, it just made sense.
And now you're a forever fan, because every time she's going to deliver, it's you, it's speaking to you. And that's what you have to create in your offer, all the way from the beginning, from the moment that you connect with someone, whether it's an ad or social media, to the lead magnet, to your email sequence, and additional things that you're getting them involved in, all the way down to the end result. So we're actually teaching about this for the next month. So, and probably way beyond that, because this is our specialty. That's where I started out. So CRMs and how to create these funnels, that's my expertise. And Kai's really good at the messaging and how to create that connection with your audience. So if you haven't already, hit the bell so you get notifications when we go live. We go live in a million places, but one of which is a Women Helping Women Entrepreneur group. And we'd love to see you guys on the lives with us. So do hit the bell. But if you want information about the workshop, the free workshop that we have coming up, it's free, but you have to commit to doing the work. Please.
Yeah.
we will schedule a call with you and make sure no sales on the workshop, on the call, no sales. So that we can find out if you're a good fit for this, if it's a good fit for you, because we want to make sure that the people who go through it get the most value possible. We don't hold back. And that's the big thing that you have to do in your freebie, is not hold back on your ability to coach. Like, you don't want to just, a lot of people say, don't give it all away in the magnet, in the lead magnet. Like, give it all away because they'll fall in love with you.
That's
but
scarcity thinking. So
it's scarcity.
Come from a place of abundance, guys. You know, God has given you a gift. Your job is to share the gift, and everything will come in from there. So you cannot hold back on people. Now, yes, there is a right way and a wrong way. You know, obviously you don't want to bombard people with all this information and just throw it all up. But you want to share your gift, because that's what your gift is meant to do. And people who come to us, there are people who come to us and just come and consume the show because they're just not ready for us yet. But then we have a lot of people who are like, I don't want to negotiate. I just want to pay you the money and I want you to work with you, period. Right. Amen. And so it doesn't matter that we've given away so much, because they just want more. And that is really what it comes down to at the end, is give from that place, not of, I'm going to get a sale, but I want you to walk away changed. I want you to walk away with better than when you left me, or better than when you came. Right. And that's really the goal at the end of anything that you're doing throughout your funnel, is how do you enrich somebody's life? How do you educate? How do you give to them, for them, and everything else will line up for you.
Right. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Kai. I appreciate all of this great information, and we hope that you found value. Let us know in the chat if you found value in this. Give us some thumbs up. If you do want the information about the workshop that's coming up, just comment power. It is a power funnel lab, and we are actually doing the work. So it's a 2-day session for 3 hours. Is that right? 2? Yes. So we go through, you are creating, we are brainstorming with you. It is live. It's not a course where you're just going to try to consume the data. All right. Yes. Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys all next week. Have a blessed week. Bye.
Bye.